we're going to explain the dreaded tkinter.tclerror, couldn't connect to display, 0.0 inches error. This frustrating message pops up when your Python code using tkinter, a popular GUI library, can't find a display to draw its windows on. Let's break down why this happens and how to fix it in different situations. (1) Understanding the error. The error message itself points to the problem. Your program can't connect to the display server, usually identified as 0.0. This display server is what manages your computer's graphical user interface, GUI. Think of it as the intermediary between your program and your screen. If your program can't talk to it, it can't show any windows. (2) The headless server problem. The most common scenario is working on a server or cloud computing environment without a graphical user interface. Servers are typically optimized for background tasks and don't have a visual display. Running tkinter code directly on a server without a display will inevitably cause this error. The solution here is simple. Don't run GUI code on a headless server. If you need to create a GUI, do so on a machine with a graphical display. (3) Remote desktop and SSH issues. Even if you're on a machine with a display, using remote desktop software like RDP or VNC or SSH without proper forwarding can cause this error. When you connect remotely, your local display is not directly accessible to the remote machine. To fix this, you need to ensure that the display is properly forwarded through the remote connection. The exact method depends on your remote access software. For SSH, you might need to use the X or Y option to enable X11 forwarding. With RDP or VNC, check the settings to ensure display forwarding is enabled. (4) Display Manager. Problems. Less frequently, issues with your Display Manager, the software that handles your desktop environment like GNOME, KDE, or XFCE, can lead to this error. This is typically resolved by restarting your computer or the Display Manager itself. If you suspect a Display Manager issue, check your system logs for any errors related to the display or graphics card. (5) Environment variables. Sometimes environment variables related to the display can be misconfigured. Variables such as display might be incorrectly set or unset. You can check and set this variable using your operating system's terminal. For example, on Linux, you could use the command export display $0.0. Remember to adjust 0.0 inches if necessary based on your system's setup. Incorrectly setting these variables could lead to this error, so careful verification is advised. (6) Virtual environments and dependencies. If you're using virtual environments, make sure that tkinter is correctly installed within the environment you're working in. Similarly, ensure you don't have conflicting versions of tkinter or other relevant libraries that could interfere with the proper functioning of your GUI application. Check your package manager to confirm tkinter is properly installed and up-to-date. In summary, the tkinter.tclerror, couldn't connect to display, 0.0 inches error usually boils down to a mismatch between your code's expectation of a display and the actual availability of one. Addressing the issue involves checking your environment, remote connection settings, display manager functionality, and the correct installation and configuration of tkinter within the appropriate Python environment. If you're still facing issues, provide details of your operating system, environment setup, and the code snippet causing the problem for more targeted troubleshooting.